everybody. Thank you for being here and listening to all of our presentations and work from this term. I'm very excited to present to you all the next term of my work on our art fundraiser, Insight Art for Climate Action, Inspiring Action and Education through YVSC's first art auction and fundraiser. A little bit about me. I grew up in Fort Collins and got a great love of skiing instilled within me from my wonderful parents. So I moved up here to ski instruct in 2021. I also attended school at Seattle University up in Seattle, Washington. That's me with Mount Rainier on the right there. And in the middle is me with one of my art installations I completed in school. I studied art and design and minored in environmental studies. And this internship has let me combine those two passions. So that has been really wonderful. I had the pleasure of working with Kate Mercado, our communications and program manager, as well as Nicole Pepper, our geospatial analyst and internship program manager on this project. And we also partnered with Steamboat Crates in the Art Depot and worked very closely with local artists and YVSC artist Jill Bergman. And that's one of her pieces up there. So a little bit of background about art and climate science communication and why this interdisciplinary connection is worthwhile. My major central question that I look at when I'm doing this work is how can we communicate complex and intricate matters such as climate change in a way that educates, engages, and inspires tangible change. So I think that a lot of times climate science and these issues, they can be very convoluted and complex for a lot of people to understand. So I find art to be a really accessible way to educate and teach people about these issues. Art has the ability to reach people of any knowledge base and background, and it can help turn research into action. It can combine emotion and beauty and really get people deeply connected to these issues. And there's a little bit of a personal connection there in art. So I find that that is really, really powerful in helping us move all this wonderful research into action in the future. So my last term, fall 2022, I focused on translating these goals in terms of YVSC's work into the development of 3 artist prompts for this project. The objectives this term was to essentially create an annual fundraising event for YVSC that will be long-standing and support the organization. I wanted to finalize our prompts and then send our call out to artists, out to our local artists. I'm planning and sketching a community art piece that will be completed at the event. I have conducted and I'm working on conducting an artist ethnography, and then doing any additional support to plan the event with the fundraising team. So the event itself and our event logistics, it's going to be an art auction fundraiser based in community. We're celebrating the use of art to communicate science and inspiring climate action. It'll be at La Jolla Dulce Ranch on Sunday, July 9th. We'll have a live and online auction with art scattered all over the venue. And then we'll also have local food, art activities, and music. So our call for artists was my first objective this internship term. We, as our fundraising team, me, Kate, Jill Bergman, Michelle, and Julia, we worked on completing these written prompts around YVSC's priority areas, so energy and transportation, resilient land and water, and waste diversion. And I was really focused on capturing all of the research and the values that are behind each one of these priority areas, and then thinking about how we can aesthetically talk about those things and how we can translate that into something the artists can work with. So this call for artists included these prompts: environmental and scientific resources, art examples, our submission logistics, and then supply resources. So along with those prompts about all of your guys' wonderful work, we included resources in each area to help the artists dive deeper into the science and really just kind of learn about all of these different issues and see what they can do creatively to help talk about them. Then we have art examples from each, so how different artists, both locally and around the world, have been working in these topics. Then we have our submission logistics for the artists and supply resources. We put together this list of supplies to help encourage artists to think critically about their waste when creating art. So we worked with Steamboat Creates and the Art Depot to get supplies to artists that might want them that have just been donated. They're all free and it's a wonderful resource for these artists. And we held one event to the artists came and they could look through the supplies that are there at the Art Depot. Then in early March, we were able to send this call out to over 100 Yampa Valley-based artists, which is really awesome. And we currently have 25 committed artists that will be submitting a piece for the event, which is awesome. I think that's a great response so far. And the submissions are due May 15th and June 19th. So hopefully we'll have a lot of great work to show everyone then. May 15th will be our gallery submission deadline. So if artists will be showing their work in local galleries, will have their work by then. We also included in this call an artist sponsorship package. So it was really important to the whole fundraising team that we showed the artists that we valued their work and their contribution to the organization. So all artists will receive 25% of the final sale. And we also have this opportunity for artists to partner with local businesses and organizations to get $500 worth of their supplies covered. And then the businesses will be one of our sponsors at the event. I think that's a really, really great way to help bring down the cost for artists in this. My next objective is to work on a community art piece that will be completed at the event, and I'm so excited about this. We are going to work on a community mural that everyone at the event can come and paint on and practice doing some art making and hopefully have some educational fun there as well. We didn't do a community engagement prompt, so this is one way to draw in that piece of YVSC. And I think it's a really exciting way to inspire long-term collective care for these shared environments. And I want to focus on celebrating YVSC's role and connection here in the community, as well as these, like I said, these shared environments. So we all live here together. This is our home and our community, and we all have a little piece in protecting it. And for this piece, we're going to do a 3 feet by 4 feet interactive paint by numbers. And I'm working on this sketch right now. I was hoping to have one to show you all today, but this is other people working on a community paint by numbers mural, kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking for that. I worked with the Art Depot and Jill Bergman to supply a piece of polytab. So this is like a canvas material that can be pasted to the outside of any building. And so we'll have it completed at the event. Everybody can come paint on it, talk about all these different topics that are going on around us. And then we're going to work with one of our business sponsors to hopefully display this somewhere downtown or around town after the event is over. So I hope that's a really exciting way to get community engaged and inspire hope moving forward. The last piece of this internship term was working on an artist ethnography, and I had the pleasure of working closely with Michelle to learn about what this is. I've never done any research in this way before, so I talked to her about ethnography she's completed in the past and what my goals should be with doing this. My central research question will be, what is gained through the process of translation of climate science to art? So I'll be looking at what is understood through our prompts and resources, how did the artists work with our different topics and translate that into their work? Were there any gaps in understanding or necessary information that we missed? And how do different choices aesthetically, scientifically, and artistically from the artist affect the relationship between artists and viewers at the event? So how ultimately are viewers interacting with their work based on what they did, what the prompt they choose, the materials they chose, everything like that. My process and goals for this are to really inform next year's event. I want to help you guys build a long-term relationship with artists and have really good, strong conversations and just I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you all. So I'm hoping that this research work will help to inform that next year. So through this work, I've been taking really wonderful detailed research notes, answering questions from artists, talking to different artists that have reached out to me so far. And I've gotten some really good feedback from artists. This will be an ongoing project through the summer as the event gets closer. But these are some of my preliminary responses from artists. So there, one local artist said, currently I've been exploring wearable dyed and/or painted fabric garments and hanging pieces that focus on motion, rhythm, and connection of the underwater world. The works are evocative rather than realistic portrayals, but hopefully they are approachable and community members can help connect or reconnect themselves to our precious water resources in the Yampa Valley. So this response is really exciting to me, just because I can tell this artist is really thinking critically about the work that you guys are doing and how we can translate that into art. And I loved that. I'm really excited to see what that piece is going to look like. And then the next piece of feedback I got, this is from an artist who isn't able to submit, but he really appreciated our call to artists. He said, "Your invitation for artist work is one of the best I've seen, not only in affording the artists an opportunity to recover some costs in making, but as well as the scale of the work. The directional advice is also welcome diversity in ideas. As you are surely aware, much goes into three-dimensional work in materials, infrastructure, and skill for working in glass, stone, and ceramic." And I really loved this response, and it was great to receive this because these were all things that Kate and the rest of the fundraising team and I were thinking about, making sure that the artists got some of the money back and for their time and their resources. As well as an artist, there's so much that goes into making work, and I wanted to make sure we were best supporting the artists in whatever they needed, if that's installation support or material support. I appreciated that he saw that as well. And it's great to hear that these were things that artists need when doing work like this. So that'll be good for next year. My key takeaways from the project itself is that I think this is an opportunity to establish a relationship between YVSC and local artists in the future. I've gained a lot of feedback around interdisciplinary work from you all and from the artists in town, just through different conversations. I think interdisciplinary work is really powerful when we're dealing with topics like climate change and sustainability, because we need everybody's talents and knowledge bases to move forward and find solutions. The monetary support for artists has been huge. I think that's really important to include. Logistical art installation, that's been something we've been working with a little bit about how to best install the work at the event. So thinking about that moving forward, making sure we're thinking about what the different art pieces are going to need. And then the timing between prompts and submissions. For next year, I think that we did a good job of timing out how much it'll take for the artist to submit a piece and create a piece. We sent this out in March, and then we have until June to submit work. So we've gotten good feedback on that as well. Other YVSC projects I had the pleasure of working on. I did a little Earth Day craft for the Earth Day event we hosted. I love ... different things about nature. That was really fun. I volunteered at one of the Zero Waste concerts. I attended the Knowledge to Action speaker night and the State of the River event. I also did the YVSC staff ski night. That was awesome. And then just this past week, we did the Elkstone Farm Volunteer Day as well. And I love learning about permaculture and everything in that realm. So that was really rewarding for me. Personal takeaways. This is a bit long here, but I have an increased understanding of climate science and our surrounding ecosystems. That was one of my biggest goals going into this internship, is to learn more there. I have an increased understanding of the interrelation between these different issues as well. I've made wonderful connections within the Steamboat Arts community, and as well as professional relationships within this organization in town. I had something really exciting happen this term, that I got a new art studio space for myself. And this internship really helped push me to find that, to complete the mural and other pieces. So that has been awesome. I've gained a lot of confidence in myself, my work, and my future, career-wise and personally. I've gained good skills with time management and spreadsheet skills, and I loved working with McKenna and Alex, and they're hearing about their projects as well. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Michelle Stewart, our executive director, Jill Bergman, our Steamboat artist and printmaker, Julia Hubbard, who's helped us a lot with event planning, Jill Modset from Steamboat Creates, all of our local artists, and then Kate Bricato and Nicole Pepper for their mentorship. And thank you. Any questions?